What gets me gagged, that has me just like quaking in my boots. The mood goes from like trying to have sexy time to divulging into childhood trauma.
My mom died a long time ago.
So what happened, if you don't mind?
She killed herself.
How was you cool? Anyways.
That gave me whiplash. I don't even know what to think. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sin. On my channel, I love to talk about female directors and other women in Hollywood who are trailblazing the industry. Today, I want to talk about a director I've already covered on my channel, Karen Kusama, but specifically her directorial debut film, Girlfight, that came out in 2000. I love Karen just because she's the one that directed Jennifer's Body. I love this woman and I love the way that she directs, and I think she is just so talented and amazing and incredible. So let's get right into Girlfight. The synopsis. Girlfight is a 2000s American sports film written and directed by Karen Kusama in her feature directorial debut and starring Michelle Rodriguez in her film debut. It follows a troubled Brooklyn high school student who decides to channel her aggression by training to become a boxer, despite the disapproval of her father and prospective trainers, as well as the competitors in the male-dominated sport. And when I was researching for this film, I learned that Karen had written this script because she herself learned how to box. And we got this amazing film out of it. And this is actually wild. This is my introduction to this world that we're about to, step into. And they're going at it. And then we later find out that the reason she's so angry and gets into fight and has this I don't give a fuck about the world attitude is because she is very unhappy with her home life because her father is abusive and her mother is dead. Yeah. So her father, aside from being abusive, he thinks that his son, Tiny, is his ticket out of poverty. And he pays $10 a week so that he can train with this boxing instructor so that he can become a professional boxer and get them out the hood.
Huh?
Yeah. So one day she goes to drop off the payment and she goes in there and he's not doing too well because he wants to be an artist anyway. He's not into it. He does it because his dad pays for it and he doesn't want to make his dad upset, obviously. And after they have dinner and Tiny confesses that he wants to get a scholarship, we get the typical scene.
Sounds like a waste of time to me. I mean, what's that gonna get you, Tiny?
And I say typical because I'm upset with the dad saying this, not so much Karen writing this dialogue into the script. I'm upset with the real people in real life that really say this to their kids. Sir, you're literally paying your son to become a professional boxer. And let me just Google this to see how many men actually go pro. Hey Siri, how many men actually become professional boxers? Typically 10 to 20% of men that train make it to become professionals. Is that not a pipe dream? The fuck? Because she's angry, I don't know what really prompts her to want to get into boxing. I think it's because she keeps hitting people and she's like, well, if boxing is hitting people and I like to hit people, I'm gonna get into boxing. And I want to say this because this movie came out in the early 2000s. Isn't there women boxing? Hey Siri. Yeah, women have been boxing professionally since the 1970s. You know what? I live in the year 2024 and I just watched women compete in the Olympics for boxing. So I need to have several seats. Probably in the early 2000s, that wasn't the case. They probably weren't going to the Olympics quite yet. It makes sense that in this little gym in Brooklyn, she's the only girl. But while watching this, I was just like, what do you mean? Girls box. I watch girls box all the time. I eat girls box. Girls in boxes, it's the norm now. But I'm going off track. Back to the movie. Because he has a fee, he's like, fine, I'll train you, but I won't do it for free. It's $10 a month. I did the math for inflation. Today, that'd be $17, which is about $64 a month. That I totally get it. She wouldn't be able to afford it. And so she asks for an allowance because she's like, well, Tiny gets an allowance kind of. So can I get an allowance? And he's like, no, you have to earn it.
You embarrass me. Sometimes I don't even think you're mine.
And I just want to know, what is his animosity towards her? Like, what is it about her that he doesn't like? I get it. She looks like her mother. That should not be punishment. I don't see why you can't scuff up $10 more to train this kid, who, mind you, cooks and cleans for them because she's the girl. I don't know why he would be like against her boxing. She's already throwing hands. If anything, I would be pleading for her to get into boxing so she can throw hands professionally, maybe make us some money. If you really want one of your kids to go pro, she's the one that's going to go pro. His thinking is so backwards because one, he didn't make it out the mud, so he's putting all of his money in his children. And two, he's putting it into the kid that's like soft and sentimental and wants to be an artist, and not the kid that's, keep emphasizing, is already throwing hands. Like she's about to be suspended for putting her hands on people. But again, I'm getting too worked up because I hate him. So anyway, she just steals money from him because obviously she starts training. Her brother gives her the silent treatment because they're siblings, and it's like, ugh, why are you doing the thing I'm doing? She first spars when she has a little bit of training under her belt with this guy named Adrian. And I think she has like a little crush on Adrian. But I hate him too, because Adrian's not all that. And so they spar, he drives her home, he kisses her, which in any other context would be like cute. It's like, oh my God, that's like her love interest. Like she's gonna find love outside of her abusive family and like they're gonna run away together and be happy. No. This is Brooklyn, New York, and they live in the projects. I don't think your soulmate is some guy you just fought with. And not only that, he has a girlfriend. And according to him, it's only sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine you introduce your girlfriend. It's like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend sometimes. Not like all the time though. Like we're not always dating. What? She takes this just because all she's ever known is like an abusive relationship. She doesn't have good examples, right? And so she obviously falls for him because he's a cute guy and they are doing the same sport. I don't know how much of him she likes and how much of the idea of escaping into happiness is what she likes.
Message!
And so one night when they're sparring, he gives her a black eye accidentally. And her dad is watching them from the window. The way he closes the curtains, you would have thought he just witnessed his wife getting fucked by another man. Sir, that's your daughter. And why are you this upset that she's like having a little boyfriend for the first time in her life? Like, what? What merits that kind of reaction? So melancholy, so dramatic for no reason. It's so funny to me. And then she comes home and her dad sees a black eye and he confronts her. Sir, you smacked your wife around to the point where she was so sad she killed herself. I don't think you get to talk. I don't think you get to be the parent in this. And he starts like grabbing on her and stuff. We don't ever see him be like physically violent with her, but like just the grabbing and trying to control her, did not like that. And because they get into this little tussle, she goes back to Adrian's and like spends the night with him. No, I did not like that. And it's just so much. He opens the door in a robe, butt fuck naked, but he's in a robe. But you can tell he doesn't have clothes on underneath. And I think it's implied that he graduated high school and she's still in high school. I don't know if she's like already 18 by this point. We are stepping into very dangerous territory already. This is clearly a situationship, right? Because he has a girlfriend sometimes. And then what gets me gagged, that has me just like quaking in my boots. The mood goes from like trying to have sexy time to divulging into childhood trauma.
My mom died a long time ago.
So what happened, if you don't mind?
She killed herself.
The hell, is you cool? Anyways,
That gave me whiplash. I don't even know what to think. The woman was too stunned to speak. After they spend the night together, not having sex and talking about dead moms, she goes back home to get some of her stuff, I think, and her brother basically gives her his training money. And he says the most brotherly thing ever.
Look, I don't know how you pay Hector, and I don't think I want to know. But Dad's wasting his money on me, and, well, he won't know if you use it instead.
That's such a sweet sibling moment. I want to see. Hey Siri, does Karen Kusama have siblings? Her Wikipedia page doesn't list any siblings, but I can tell she is not an only child, or at least I assume she's not an only child just because of the way she writes their relationship. Very much siblings. And then later that day, she goes to Hector's birthday party. They're having a good time, and Adrian walks in with his sometimes girlfriend. Yeah. And so she leaves because obviously she's hurt by this. And the next time they spar, he doesn't want to hurt her because he, gave her the black eye the last time. Plus, they have this animosity because he brought his sometimes girlfriend to that very much one-time party. They're kind of off for a little bit. And then she has this match set up so that she can spar with this girl who drops out last minute. And she ends up sparring with this guy named Ray Cortez, who is playing rough. He's just not playing by the rules, and he gets disqualified. And so she kind of wins on a technicality. And her dad arrives and watches her because he goes thinking his son is going to spar because that's who he's paying to learn how to box. And for him to see his daughter in the ring, he's like, oh, hell no. Leaves, gets pissed drunk because I assume that's all he does, and confronts her when she comes home. She's had it, and because she's been training, she has hands on her. Her hands are rated E for everyone. And in this scene, they were for him.
I could snap your neck right now if I felt like it.
She gets her lick back, and listen.
I know that violence is not the answer, but yes, it is.
This scene, I like this scene. This is a good scene. If I was a judge, I would allow it. You are allowed to choke the fuck out of your dad one time. Go right ahead. No repercussions. But again, violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is. The same way that Adrian sometimes has a girlfriend is the same way that Diana is sometimes allowed to choke the fuck out of her father. I think so. But moving right along, after a few weeks of rigorous training, Diana wins another amateur fight against a girl named Ricky. And I just want to say, I love this camera work. The way that they changed from an audience point of view to the fighter's point of view, and when they get punched, it flashes white for a half of a second, because obviously when you're boxing, when you take a punch, you're closing your eyes and you're blinking and stuff. So I love the cinematic direction in this scene. It makes it feel authentic, and it makes me feel like I'm immersed in this experience. I just think that was amazing, and I can see why this movie won festivals and then garnered attention enough for her to get funding and then theatrical distribution. And I think Adrian eventually apologizes for the whole girlfriend thing at the birthday party, and they make up for a second, and then they fight again because they're told that they both qualified within their division, and so they have to fight each other. And they're not into this. This scene just...
I'm sorry, Dad, but I haven't trained all this time to be stuck in a ring with a girl.
Oh, stuck with a girl.
I understand the stakes are a little bit higher and a little more complex and different because they're trying to date, or they're into each other romantically. So that adds a different layer of nuance to this discussion of should they even fight because of their genders. But she's been training really hard and she's getting really good. But he eventually does agree. They eventually do fight. She wins, like I knew she would. I'm so proud of her. But because of this, her and Adrian don't talk for a while because in his mind, she's lost respect for him. And I just want to say, I personally have never had respect for Adrian. But they talk about it at the end of the movie, and she's like, no, because you believed in me enough. I don't know, some bullshit. I'm so sorry. And they kiss and make up. We all know how I feel about that, about Adrian, about situationships and the sometimes girlfriend. So I'm not going to comment on that. But that is Girlfight. I love this movie. It was so exciting to watch. I was rooting for her. She was such an underdog. Like, she was someone that like you could connect with and root for from the beginning. And I loved going on this journey with her and discovering like her triggers and discovering like how boxing made her process her emotions, how she gained confidence and self-worth, was able to stand up against her father and pave like a way for herself outside of maybe this bleak existence she was experiencing. And I love that. You know, sometimes a movie doesn't have to be this flashy big thing. I felt like I was watching, you know, someone's life journey. And even though it was a very fictional person, fictional scenario and everything, this could very much have been the story of somebody, like an actual person's like biopic. And I love that. It was so well directed, so well written. I thought the cinematography was done really well. Like, I really felt like I was in Brooklyn. The Folly, I hope that's how you say it. Folly, you know, the sounds and stuff from like the clanking of like their silverware, or like the trains, or like the noise or the sirens and the projects. Like, everything about this movie just tied it all together so perfectly. I was immersed the entire time. Let me know in the comments what you liked about this movie, if you've seen it, if there's anything about it that I didn't touch on that you wish I did. I would love to know. As always, thank you so much for watching. I have so much fun making these, and I hope you guys have just as much fun watching them. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.